Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to BESE for our Wednesday, April 9, 2025 meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Appel? Here. Dr. Armstrong? Here. Mr. Birkin? Here. Mr. Castile? Not present. Ms. Champagne?
Here.
Dr. Clark? Here. Mr. Harris? Mr. Hollis? Not present. Ms. Holloway? Ms. Mallory? Mr. Morris?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. I'd like to start off this morning with our invocation. Sister Carol, who's the chair of our non-public school council, will lead us in prayer. Sister Carol?
Let us bow our heads. Loving and eternal God, we come before you today with grateful and humble hearts, acknowledging the privilege of serving all students in Louisiana. You are the source of all wisdom, truth, and peace. We call upon your presence to guide them in this time of decision-making. Bless each board member with clarity of thought, openness of heart, and spirit of collaboration. May they always seek what is suitable for our students, faculty, administration, and staff, and the broader community they are honored to serve. We thank you for the strong education tradition that anchors their work in learning and service. Help the BESE board to lead with courage, compassion, and integrity, always mindful of the sacred trust they hold and the lives they touch by their leadership. Come, Holy Spirit, be present in their discussion, inspire them with your wisdom, unite them in purpose, and guide every decision they make for the good of those they serve and the glory of your name. We ask this through Christ our Lord.
Amen. Thank you, Sister Carol. Now we have Sion Ju, who's going to lead us with the pledge. Sion?
Please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Sion. All right, can I get a first item on our agenda, please?
Yes, sir. Good morning. First item on the agenda is item 2.1, approval of the agenda.
All right, looking to my left for a motion this morning, Mr. Harris. Ms. Mellerin, thank you. Is there any objection to the motion? Hearing none, motion passes. Next item, please.
Next item is 3.1, consideration of the recognition of the United States Senate Youth Scholarship honorees.
All right, looking to my right for a motion, Mr. Birkin. Ms. Champagne, thank you. Superintendent?
Yes, sir. We were honored with the presence yesterday of some outstanding students in our presence, and they certainly make the work that we do worthwhile every single day. And we're excited to honor another set of outstanding scholars this morning. And Dr. Ernie Singleton on our team will make this presentation.
Good morning, Ernie Singleton, Department of Education, Assistant Superintendent. We would like to introduce to you the United States Senate Youth Program honorees. Washington Week is an intensive week of unparalleled educational activities designed to deepen the students' delegates' understanding of the federal government and give them direct access to those who lead it. The United States Senate Youth Program, operated by the William Randolph Hearst Foundation, comes with a $10,000 scholarship to each delegate for undergraduate studies, with encouragement to pursue coursework in history and political science. Louisiana sent 2 delegates to Washington Week, which was held March 1st through 8th, 2025, and 2 alternates were also chosen. This year's honorees were, oh, it's not doing it. Neil Tandon from Jefferson Parish School District, he's not present. Emily Jane Nevels from Wynn Parish was the other delegate. Our alternate delegates were Shi Wen Zhu from Episcopal School of Acadiana and Walker Jean Prejean from Lafayette Parish. Congratulations. gonna take a photo, so step back. Move over just a little bit, watch your step. They're gonna take a photo. They're gonna come down. Congratulations again.
Next item, please.
Next item on the agenda is 3.2, consideration of the recognition of Purple Star Schools.
Can I get a motion, please? Mr. Harris, Ms. Mellerin, thank you. Superintendent?
Yes, sir, Mr. Morris. We're excited this morning to recognize our Purple Star schools. As you all know, this was an endeavor that began a couple of years ago so that we could highlight and elevate the work of schools and school systems across the state of Louisiana that serve those families that serve all of us in the military. And this is a really special moment to recognize some of the first Purple Star schools in our state. It's also not lost on me, Dr. Singleton, that you are appropriately wearing purple today, as well as various members of the LDOE team. Thank you for that. Guys, we have to step up our dress code a little bit here, but most of us anyway. So, no, we're really excited to be able to honor these schools today for the work that they do, but truly the people that deserve the most honor are those that are in service to our country every single day. So I say thank you to everyone involved. Before we do the school recognition, I believe Ms. Mellerin has a comment.
Yes, we are fortunate to have a distinguished guest from BESE Region 4. I'd like to thank Senator Milligan for attending today. Senator Milligan carried the bill for the department designating the schools as Purple Star schools. Thank you, Senator.
Dr. Singleton?
Good morning again, Ernie Singleton, Department. The Purple Star Schools program honors schools that show a commitment to serving students and families connected to the United States Armed Forces. It is fitting that we show this honor during April, month of the military child. Purple symbolizes the unity across all service branches. The department recognizes the unique needs of these students and the need for specialized support at the local school level. Just this week, the department has launched a new web page on our website dedicated to the families of military-connected students. There you will find information about the Interstate Children's Compact and links to resources for military-connected families. At this time, I would like to recognize those schools who have earned Purple Star designation from September 2024 to March 2025. Each school has received a Purple Star banner and certificate, and I have the banner to show that you all what they received already. In total, there are 41 schools in Louisiana who have been designated as Purple Star schools. From Beauregard Parish, DeRidder High School. From Bossier Parish, Airline High School, Halton High School, Plain Dealing High School. From Caddo Parish Magnet High School, Captain Shreve High School, C.E. Byrd High School, Eden Gardens Fundamental Elementary School, Uri Drive Middle Advanced Placement Magnet School. From the Archdiocese of New Orleans, St. Edward the Confessor School, they're not present today, and Southfield School in Shreveport. Thank you all for agreeing to serve our military-connected students in a positive manner. Congratulations. Thank you again.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Next item on the agenda is 3.3, consideration of recognition of the Education Leader Alternate Pathway for Boot Camp Completers.
Can I get a motion, please? Ms. Champagne, Mr. Birkin, thank you. Superintendent.
Yes, sir, Mr. Morris, thank you. I'm also excited today to acknowledge some individuals that are interested in leading schools across the state of Louisiana. Mr. Morris, we talked a lot yesterday about workforce and the need to make sure that all kids have access to a high-quality teacher, and we know that that's also true for leadership. One of the things I have consistently praised this board around is breaking down barriers that prevent competent, talented people from entering the schools and doing work in schools. And so one of the policies that we all asked you to pass very early in your term was an alternate pathway to school leadership, where individuals who have MBAs or MPAs or JDs or have been commissioned officers at grade 3 or higher in the military and have led command have the opportunity to step in a school and lead as a principal or an assistant principal. This is not something that is a mandate, but it is an additional opportunity that school systems have to hire competent people that could grow into leadership. One of the elements of the policy that you passed required individuals, if they were going into school leadership and they were selected by a school system, that they have to go through a boot camp, so to speak, at the department. And so we've been holding, or we have held that boot camp, and we just wanted to acknowledge the first set of these individuals who have gone through this alternate pathway and are exploring opportunities to further their careers in school leadership. And so I think it's really something that we can be proud of in the state of Louisiana, that we are opening the doors for talented people to serve in schools. And Dr. Geoffrion, who is in our teaching and learning team, will make this particular presentation. Dr. Geoffrion?
Good morning. Arthur Geoffrion, Department of Education. We'd like to introduce the EDL Alternate Pathway 4 honorees. The EDL Alternate Pathway 4 Boot Camp serves as a pathway to school leadership specifically designed for individuals who possess either a master's or a graduate degree in business administration, a Master of Public Administration, or a Juris Doctorate. Additionally, honorably discharged commissioned officers of U.S. military branches are eligible. In January, the LDOE hosted its inaugural boot camp with 16 participants and their LDOE assigned mentors. Their mentors are active and distinguished practicing school principals, including the 2025 Louisiana Principal of the Year, Dr. Amanda Austin. The LDOE is proud to announce that the following individuals have participated in the boot camp and are ready and willing to serve as school leaders focused on student achievement. The 16 participants are Portia Washington, East Baton Rouge, mentored by Dr. Tiffany McCoy Thomas. Aranda Johnson, East Baton Rouge Parish, mentored by Hazel Regis Buckles. J.L. Holmes, East Baton Rouge Parish, mentored by Dr. Amanda Austin. Tiffany May, East Baton Rouge Parish, mentored by Dr. Amanda Austin. Lauren Dugas, Iberia Parish, mentored by Krista Leon. Crystal Allen Dumas, Iberville Parish, mentored by Melissa Daughtry. Jessica Smith, Jefferson Parish, mentored by Therese LeBlanc. Damian Mitchell, Lafayette Parish, mentored by Melissa Daughtry. Jennifer Naum, New Orleans Military and Maritime Academy, mentored by Therese LeBlanc. Jules LeBoeuf, St. Bernard Parish, mentored by Raymond Morris. Fred Abair, St. Bernard Parish, mentored by Raymond Morris. Michaela Mallory, St. Martin Parish, mentored by Hazel Regis Buckles. Brandy Charles, St. Martin Parish, mentored by Hazel Regis Buckles. Laura Prisco, St. Tammany Parish, mentored by Lisa Kendrick. Erica Williams, Tangipahoa Parish, mentored by Lisa Kendrick. Dr. Crystal Valaire, University of Louisiana Lafayette, mentored by Krista Leon. Congratulations to the inaugural EDL Alternate Pathway Boot Camp completers, many of which have now officially received or in the process of receiving their official certification as they have passed the exam and participated in the boot camp. We look forward to seeing you excel in school leadership. Now let's take our group photo and congratulations.
Mr. Morris, as they walk back to their seats, I would like to offer them a word of encouragement, or maybe it's a directive. Teach kids to read and do math. It's easy to get distracted with a lot of other elements and solve a lot of problems that society asks you to solve as an educator. But I'm just asking that, you be aggressive and assertive, teaching kids to read and do math and graduate ready for what's next beyond high school. And just be really bullish in a belief that you can get that done and drive everyone around you towards that expectation. So I just wanted to offer that encouragement because it really does matter.
Thank you. Look forward to hearing more about you guys very soon. Thank you. Next item on our agenda, please.
Next item is item 4.1, approval of the March 12th, 2025 board minutes.
Thank you. Can I get a motion, please? Ms. Holloway, Mr. Harris? Thank you. Is there any exception? Hearing none, motion passes. Next item, please.
Next item on the agenda is item 5.1, report by the State Superintendent of Education.
Mr. Superintendent?
Yes, sir. I'll be brief. There was a report put out a few weeks ago by Leaders for a Better Louisiana giving us a valuable look at where we stand and where we need to go relative to work-based learning in the state of Louisiana. The report highlighted the fact of information that we already know, that Louisiana lags behind other states in student work-based learning experiences and internship opportunities. And that's why I'm so thankful that this board took a bold and courageous vote to reframe accountability in our state and include internship and apprenticeship opportunities within that. Just a look at that study shared that in Georgia, for instance, somewhere around 20% of high school students are graduating with an internship opportunity. In Tennessee, somewhere around 25% of students are graduating with internships. And Louisiana, it's under 5%. And so I know that there was a lot of frustration around some of the moves that we believed we needed to make with accountability. But without incentivizing and highlighting those internship and apprenticeship opportunities, we're not going to see this grow, or else it would have already grown. And so thank you for that, and also thank you for highlighting via the BESE Bridging Success Tours across the entire state. I've done my best to make as many of those as possible, as well as our team. But I do think that that's good collaboration between this board and local business and industry and the schools. Also had the opportunity most recently to tour Southwest Louisiana schools and early care centers, public, non-public. Had a really good visit. Many of you joined me on some of those visits. It's really important to do that. It's meaningful. Spending time with those educators helped me better understand what's going on, what are the struggles, what are the successes. So thank you to all of you whenever you join me on those trips. Finally, I'd just like to close with a word about Easter. This is the last BESE meeting before Easter, and for myself as a practicing Christian, Easter is a time of hope. It's a time when we can reflect and think about what all of this is really about, and give ourselves an opportunity to start over again. If there are areas within our life where we need to make correction or where we need to seek guidance, Easter is a good opportunity for us to be able to do that. So find time to connect with families. If you find it within yourself to attend a worship service, do that. But I just want to remind everyone that the Easter season is upon us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that update, and thank you for that encouragement. Members, do we have any comments for our superintendent? All right, hearing none. I wanted to thank Ms. Holloway, Mr. Birkin in particular. The turnout we had on our BESE tour was just fantastic in both Lafayette and Lafourche, and so just really appreciate you guys for all the work there to pull that off. Also, Mr. Walker, thank you for you and your team for coordinating that. Mr. Walker, I know we've got a couple of stops left. Could you just give us a brief update where we are on that?
I knew you was going to ask me that. We're actually meeting with Mr. Birkin and perhaps Mr. Harris today to nail down those dates, including Ms. Mellor. She looked the other way real quick. But we have three areas that we want to cover. I don't have the dates in front of me, but I will send a detailed dates out to the members as soon as I get back to my desk.
All right, thank you for that. All right, let's move on. Next item, please.
Item 6.1, reports from members of BESE, our statutory and legislative task force council appointees.
All right, can I get a motion, please? Mr. Harris, Ms. Mellorin. All right, do we have any reports from any of the members? Dr. Clark?
Good morning. Dr. Singleton, do you have a second to come up to talk about our truancy summit that we have scheduled for Thursday, June 12th during the Teachers Summit? Or I can elaborate a little bit.
Dr. Clark, this is a good time. I'm glad you raised this issue. I neglected to mention this. We as an agency are going to commit additional staff to the attendance and truancy work by a few shifts within our office. And so, as I shared with the board officers, I believe last week, we're going to essentially establish a three-person team that oversees the attendance work in the state. And while Dr. Singleton and her team focus additionally on work-based learning, university preparation, service preparation, we're going to move that particular attendance under our operations team that's closer to the dollars, so we can explore additional revenues, or not revenues, additional funding sources to support the attendance work. So I'm really excited about this. Dr. Singleton is helping with the transition here. But as we go into next year, we just want to put additional emphasis on the attendance work. So we're committing a small group of individuals, much like our reading and math team, to really focus on this work. So we think this will be helpful. But time will tell. But I don't think it's an opportunity that we can miss right now as we go into next year.
Thank you, Dr. Brumley.
So good morning. At Teacher Leader Summit on that Thursday, June 12th, there will be 3 sessions focused on attendance. BESE is helping to organize the invitees for those particular 3 sessions. The room will seat 96 people, and they are working on a list of DAs, judicial counterparts, as well as school system leaders to attend those particular 3 sessions. One of the sessions will be led by BESE and Dr. Clark, which focuses on best practices with the judicial system. Then there will also be a session led by LDOE in Jefferson Parish, which will also focus on best practices with attendance teams. And then there will be another session led by LDOE and a member of, what's it called? I can't think of the name escapes me, but she's from Calcasieu Parish, I want to say. One of the task centers, it's not, FINS, I'm sorry, that's what it is. FINS in Calcasieu Parish, that particular program, and it'll focus on best practices in utilizing FINS to address attendance. And so BESE is working on getting out the invites for that, and then that will take place on June 12th, the last day of Teacher Leader Summit.
Dr. Singleton, will those 3, will they be subsequent, or will they be the same time and you just choose which one you attend?
They will be one after the other.
Subsequent, okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Singleton. Any questions? Concerns?
I want to extend thanks to you, Dr. Clark, for leading on this. I don't think people can fully appreciate how complicated this body of work is across 64 parishes, et cetera. And so I just want to say thank you for your leadership here, and hopefully with an additional commitment from our agency, we can be helpful in being part of the solve here.
Thank you. Ms. Holloway?
Thank you. I was just wanting to clarify the teacher summit dates. It's the 11th and 12th? I thought it was the 9th and the 10th.
So Teacher Leader Summit, we actually had to have new dates this year due to scheduling conflicts. And so this year, I believe it's is it the 10th, 11th, and 12th? Okay, there we go. I got that right.
10th, 11th, 12th. Okay,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
that's what confused me. Thank you.
Thank you. Any others? Ms. Champagne?
Thank you. No question. I do want to thank Dr. Clark for taking the lead on this through BESE. A lot of hard work. She's very passionate about this issue and making sure that she brings light to the fact that maybe statewide isn't everything equal. So I really appreciate that. And I thank Dr. Singleton because I've sat in on all of these calls.
Yes.
She has really worked very hard to bring all of this together. Teachers Summit, along with the BESE initiative with truancy. So thank you, Dr. Singleton. We appreciate all that you're doing on this effort. And also Dr. Sabre Kingdom, who has,
Yes.
she had the foresight and the insight to say we need to work in conjunction with Children's Cabinet, which I serve on, the BESE Board, the Governor's Office, Judicial System, LDOE. So thank you for that. So I just want to, Mr. Chair, acknowledge these individuals for all the hard work that they have done getting this together.
Thank you, Ms. Champagne. I think we all appreciate them, and we're looking forward to working with them on this endeavor going forward.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. All right, any other shares
Yes.
this month? Mr. Birkin?
Also like to thank Dr. Brumley for the visits to Southwest Louisiana. We attended a couple of schools together. One in particular I wanted to mention, the French immersion school. I was particularly impressed. I think it was 3rd grade. They were doing math. And I walked in and of course, y'all know I can't hear anything. And I'm like, man, these hearing aids are not working right. I can't understand a thing this lady is saying, which of course she was speaking in French, fluent French. The kids were all 3rd graders, fluent French. I was very impressed with that. And there wasn't an English word said in that whole thing. So it was good. And then a visit all the way down south near the Gulf of America for Johnson Bayou. That it was good time, and thank Dr. Brumley for coming to that area. Also, the Bridging Success Tour for in Lake Charles is April 30th, so invite all for that. Going to Lafayette Parish School Board is rolling out tomorrow their teacher incentive pay We were talking yesterday about teachers and getting them, how we can grow our own. Lafayette Parish is providing, or proposed to provide $1,000 per person while they're in school or doing their internship at the schools. And in turn, they would need to work in the school system for 2 years. So they're rolling that out tomorrow. So I'm going to go there for that and hopefully report back on that success.
Certainly appreciate that innovative approach.
I want to acknowledge a couple of department staff members and directors in working with the non-public commission. Ms. Townsend has been working very closely with their administrative handbooks on ensuring safety for toddlers. And so it has been great discussions and guidance so that we can ensure that all of our children are safe at schools. And then Caleb, Mr. Moore, has been phenomenal in working with the non-public council as well on the Gator program. They've had many, many questions, and he has been responsive immediately to all of the questions that they've had, and has been what we didn't know he would look up for us. So it's been very helpful, and I appreciate you doing all that. So both of you, thank you for working with them.
Thank you, Dr. Armstrong. Senator Rappel.
A little bit off the subject, but I just want to take a moment to recognize my good friend Larry Dale, who's in the audience. Larry is a passionate leader in Jefferson Parish for education reform, been on the school board, head of the business council in Jefferson. He's just a great guy, and one of the ones that we have on our team for those that believe in education and education reform. And I appreciate him being here today. I asked him what he's here for. I figured he wanted something from us. And he said, no, he said, I just want to see what's going on. So I appreciate that, and thank you, Larry.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing. Any other members' comments? All right, hearing none. Next item, please.
Next item on the agenda is 7.1, Academic Goals and Instructional Improvement Committee. That's Mr. Appel.
Thank you. On behalf of the Academic Goals and Instructional Improvement Committee, I move to approve motions 1 through 18, noting that motions 16 through 18 are notices of intent.
Thank you. Got a second? Dr. Armstrong, is there any exception? Hearing none, motion passes. Next item, please.
Next item is 7.2, Board Administration and Education Finance Committee. Mr. Birkin.
On behalf of the Board Administration and Education Finance Committee, I move to approve motions 1 through 26, noting motion number 25 as notice of intent.
Thank you. Ms. Champagne, is there any exception? Hearing none, motion passes. Next item, please.
Next item is 7.3, Educator Effectiveness Committee, chaired by Dr. Clark.
On behalf of the Educator Effectiveness Committee, I move to approve motions 1 through 28, noting that motions 8 through 10 are notices of intent.
Thank you. Mr. Harris, second. Is there any exception? Hearing none, motion passes. Next item, please.
Next item is 7.4, Legislative and Governmental Affairs Committee, chaired by Mr. Harris.
Thank you. On behalf of the Legislative and Governmental Affairs Committee, I move to approve motions 1 through 2.
Thank you, sir. Can I get a second? Ms. Holloway, thank you. Is there any exception to motions 1 through 2? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. Next item, please.
Next item on the agenda is 7.5, School Innovation and Turnaround Committee, chaired by Ms. Holloway.
On behalf of the School Innovation and Turnaround Committee, I move to approve motions 1 through 3 and pulling motion 4 as read.
Thank you. A second. Dr. Clark, is there any exception? Hearing none, motion passes. Next item, please.
The next item that we're pulling for read is item number 4 on motion of Mr. Morris, second by Mr. Harris. The School Innovation and Turnaround Committee recommended the board defer until today, full board meeting, consideration of an update report regarding the LA Gator Scholarship Program.
All right, that's our motion, or do we need a motion? We need a motion. Mr. Birkin, second, Ms. Champagne. Superintendent?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Morris. As we're all aware, yesterday we needed to defer this particular item due to some technological issues that we were facing. I want to thank Mr. Walker for being a timekeeper for me yesterday, and Ms. Holloway for effectively leading that committee through that process. But as a result of that, we had to defer our update on the Gator program, which I think is a really important update for the board to have. So far, we're really excited about the numbers that we're seeing coming in, the interest from families around this opportunity. The interest that we're seeing already exceeds the governor's request in the executive budget for $93 million. But I did ask Caleb and Jermaine to make sure and prepare an update for you all today. And so what we'll do is we'll go through that presentation and then entertain any questions at the end. So Caleb, you're up, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you, members. I'm excited to share with you a brief update with some good news on the LA Gator program. I'm going to move through the presentation here. All right, first I want to focus on our outreach to Louisiana Scholarship Program families and schools. Throughout the final weeks, we're holding weekly office hours between 2 and 3 p.m. To offer direct support to the Louisiana Scholarship Program schools. We also share weekly rosters with the schools so they can see who's applied and who hasn't applied yet, and that's been very effective in getting more kids into the program. Thank you. We will also be calling scholarship program families directly. There's not very many left that haven't applied, but we will be calling them to help them complete their applications, and we are visiting scholarship program schools in person. You can see here the email outreach that goes to LSP families and schools. I want to highlight again that we have a very, very good open rate for these, generally 60 to 70%. Some notes on general public engagement. We were able to speak with the Houma-Thibodaux Diocese, the Governor's Advisory Council on Disability Affairs, various non-public school organizations, and we have our weekly office hours. General public engagement, you can also see here on our emails that we see 60 to 85%, 86% open rates on these, which is very good. General support information here, as we always want to highlight, lagator.la.gov for all program questions. You can see here the link for the application. This does close in 6 days on April 15th. So at this point, the application will be closing in 6 days. We're working with schools to help them enter their tuition, confirm that with families, and get kids into the schools that they choose. I want to highlight here 94.1% above industry average satisfaction for Odyssey, the vendor. You'll see here that Odyssey representative was literally the best call support representative I've ever spoken with. All of these pulled directly from customer conversations. Generally, we see that they're very happy to speak with real people very quickly. This number is actually closer to about 33,500 applications as of this morning, 29,400 eligible. Still around 1,400 pending and under review. But what I really want to highlight here is our Louisiana Scholarship Program number. We have around 5,600 kids in the program. Right now, 5,024 of them have applied to LA Gator. That's 91%. And then if you account for the 5% that are in terminal grades at their school or graduating, that's 96% of the scholarship program kids in LA Gator. So very excited and thankful to the non-public schools and their teams for getting that in. You'll see here, again, the student applications by city. We see New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Metairie, Shreveport, and Slidell stay among the top 5. By grade, of course, kindergarten usually the highest, and then the later grades a little bit lower. We're still at about 82 to 83% of students at the 250% or below. So the bulk of the kids are in the first phase of the program. At this time, we have 271 approved non-public schools and 269 registered service providers. That includes post-secondary institutions, general curriculum providers, and things of that nature. We see that number go up pretty much every day. So with that, I'm happy to take any questions on the program.
Senator Appel, I believe you had your hand up first.
Beat you. We're entering the legislative session, fiscal session, and we talked about how much the governor has in the executive budget. It seems to me it would be very important going forward if we had like a single-page summary or analysis of the financial aspects, starting with the executive budget, how many students are approved, how much the awards would be. Just a simple one-page summary to work with the legislature so they understand the implications of what they're voting on and who will be in, who will be out, and how that works. That's all I'm suggesting.
Yes, sir, absolutely. So once the application closes, we'll rank order all the students, and at that point, we'll be able to know exactly how many students are funded by different appropriation amounts. So as soon as that's ready, we'll have that and provide that information.
Well, just like I say, though, give us for the legislative committee, give us some kind of working document that we can talk from that shows the impact, because obviously $90 million is a lot of money, but when you're looking at almost 30,000 approved applicants, it's not going to go that far. I mean, it's going to go far,
Yes.
but it's not going to go far enough.
Absolutely, happy to provide that.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Caleb, can you remind us when do applications close?
That's April 15th, 6 days from today.
Got it. Thank you. Dr. Armstrong.
And so mine piggybacks on Senator Appel's. He was just trying to get up there first. So, you know, there seems to be just a large demand for this program. And so I think I agree that that is something we need to share with our legislators and appropriations. Could we, in that summary sheet, provide an estimate of what it would cost to let all of them open it up? If it was wide open for everybody that applied, what would the cost be?
Absolutely, we will have that, and we're happy to provide that.
Thank you.
Mr. Burkett.
So we have thousands and thousands of applicants, and assuming that they are all within that first year or most within, except for the 9% thing, how do we go about selecting those kids, families? Is it a pick out of the hat kind of thing, or what?
So there's priority groups that happen within the phases. So in phase one, where the bulk of the applicants are, it'll first go to those Louisiana Scholarship Program students. Then it moves to an equal priority for students with disabilities and 250% or below the federal poverty guideline. Priority 3 helps us to get any siblings that were in the first 2 priority groups and bring them into the program. And then priority 4 is all other students. And then within those groups, so the scholarship program kids, we assume that will probably receive the same appropriation. So those students should be good in the next priority group. If the funding isn't sufficient to make it all the way through any of the priority groups, it goes on a time-based application. So the time of application submission within the priority group is the secondary level.
So if I applied 5 minutes before the other person, then I'm higher up on the list?
If you apply after, but you're in the same priority group, you would be behind them on the list.
So it said 94.1% support. What of the 6%, 5.9%? What was the number one complaint?
Generally, it's lack of understanding around program policies, and I think that, like, we can't reach resolutions on certain things about prioritization group, confusion with what's needed from them, but generally that's few and far between. It's been a breadth of things, mostly around, I think, misunderstandings on policy.
So we're not going to start the selection process of those eligible class until we know what the legislature is going to provide?
We won't be able to let families know if they're receiving funding or not until we've received the appropriation for the program. We're considering ways to let them know something about where they're at as far as the wait list, just in case they need to start making other plans, just in case, because we do understand that this is a late determination for a lot of families that would traditionally be in public or non-public school. But we won't know who's actually going to be changed to funded until we receive the appropriation, assuming, early July.
All the major dioceses around the state, any opted out?
Not that I'm aware of. We see some, I think most of them have at least one school that's in the program.
Dr. Armstrong.
You probably can't answer this, but I just want to kind of make a statement for the future, because it is highly likely that a lot of our eligible applicants will not get funded this year, which is sad. But I guess my concern is if they are eligible this year, receive the funds, do they have any priority for next year?
As it's currently written, the wait list would restart in the next year, though it may be easier for them because they will already have an Odyssey profile. So they would have an inherent advantage. They've already been through creating a profile. They've already uploaded information. So there is an advantage to going ahead and doing it now for the next year. But as I understand it now, because they have to reattest to certain things, their income may have changed. Lots of things need to be resubmitted. We're not able to hold the wait list year over year. We will hold it for as long as we can if a seat becomes available, but we don't hold it year over year at this point.
And I guess my concern are the kindergarten students, because
Yes.
the kindergarten are automatically eligible this year. Next year, they would be first grade. That would not be a high priority eligibility, but they applied as kindergarten students. So that's one thing I think we, in the future, need to talk about.
Absolutely understand that concern, and we'll continue to think about what we can do for those families.
Senator Appel?
Yeah, just a clarification, maybe Mr. Harris can help me on this one, but as I recall, there's a period of time, and I think it's 90 days, but don't quote me on that, after the appropriations process has been finished and finalized in the legislature, under which the governor can veto aspects of it. Therefore, I'm not sure just the finalization of the legislative action on the appropriations bill is the time when we can say who gets these. I think you have to wait that period. I don't know if it's 90 days or...
No, it's,
So
it's a matter of weeks.
First of all, I appreciate the collaboration across the room between the Senate and the House. I want to recognize that. Mr. Harris,
Well, I
if you
defer to
would.
my elder
Yeah,
statesman. No.
it's actually a matter of weeks because the new
weeks.
fiscal year starts on July the 1st. So
Okay, that's-
he has to make his, I think it's 3-week window, 21 days.
Yeah, I knew there was a period.
Yeah.
So it's really more like, it's not going to be the end of the session, it's going to be the end of at the beginning of the fiscal year, probably, before we can notify anybody officially.
I wouldn't think he would veto his own program, but.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
saying he would.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that as an official action, I don't think the budget becomes official until that period of time
Right,
expires.
it's the fiscal year starts at July 1st, so.
Yeah.
I don't, he does have line item veto powers though, so.
Yeah, well, I think maybe we need to get a clarification
No.
from our legal staff when we could officially make a statement as to who would be awarded these grants.
All right, Caleb, you can help us with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have been communicating to families so far that it is subject to the governor's approval and to look around early July when we anticipate that to traditionally happen. So they do,
Yeah.
the families do know that they have to wait on that step as well.
The governor signs the bill. When he signs it, it's final, so.
Right.
Yeah.
But that might be that July, closer to July than the end of the session, is all I'm saying. So, but y'all are already on it. I appreciate that. And,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Just as long as it's clear. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments on this one as I look to my left? All right. Hearing none. Superintendent Brumley, if you could maybe just, maybe help us out with next steps here in the process. I know there's still some approvals that are required. If you could kind of talk us through that process, appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. So first of all, I would acknowledge the fact that we do have a 94% approval rating right now from families. I think it's a testament, you didn't say it, Caleb, but I think it's a testament to Ms. Gilson and you and the choice team all together and the work you're doing. But the most important next step is the approval of the vendor contract. You all unanimously approved that contract at your last board meeting, and it is essentially up to $1.9 million contract, and that money is overwhelmingly for management per account. So we had to make the determination, I've shared this before, but we had to make the determination on, how do we arrive at a contract amount. And so the only numbers that we really had to go by were the numbers in the governor's executive budget. So that's about 11,000 kids. And so we applied that on a per account management process with the vendor. And we presented that information after you all approved that contract. We presented that in JLCB in their last meeting just as an overview. And in the meantime, we have sent to JLCB members, that contract with a note that if any JLCB member has a question or concern, they reach out to us and let us know, because it's on their April agenda for approval. But I do think it's really important that, for whatever makes sense, that as we move closer to JLCB, those members where you have relationships that you reach out to them, because what is really important here is the current voucher program legally ends on June 30th. So it no longer exists in the state of Louisiana. We cannot operate that program after June 30th. And so if our vendor contract isn't approved, you know, we don't have a program for those voucher kids, much less any new kids. And so it's just really important that that gets done in April. And one might say, well, you have additional time after April. Well, the problem there is the sensitivity of, and Dr. Armstrong appreciates this, the sensitivity of those schools having to know, how many teachers do I need? Can I, you know, do I let in which kids? Because I don't know if these kids are going to be eligible. What staffing decisions do I need to make? What budget decisions? And then it's also important to get it done because families need to know, if I don't have this option, what's my next option? So they can make school decisions. So I think both of those things are really important, that we get this thing done there in April.
Chair, if I may, to piggyback on some of Dr. Brumley's comments, if when we are speaking to our representatives, you may hear some questioning along the lines of, if it's only LSP students participating in the program for some budgetary reason, can the Department of Education run this platform on their own? Because they have. I think it's important to recognize that this would be a very big challenge and lift for LDOD to do, that the platform vendor is necessary due to the checks and balances that we have within this program, and that LSP is sunsetting. So continuing this contract with the platform vendor Odyssey, which has the highest success rate and approval rate, is able to put the safeguards in place to prevent fraud, is critical for the implementation of that, and it's really critical for our LSP kids to continue to receive those funds, regardless of how expansive the appropriation may be and how many students we're able to serve with that. And then while I have the floor, I'd also like to thank Mr. Moore and Ms. Gilson for their work on this. They have been just exceedingly responsive to any school system that's reached out. They've been responsive to me when someone has reached out, and even on the platform launch day, any issues were resolved very quickly, and I appreciate each of you and your professionalism in this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mellerin. Any other comments, members? All right, hearing none. Next item, please.
That concludes the agenda.
Thank you. We're adjourned.